All right. Bada bing, bada bam. There we go. So pretty much all you need to homebrew, the only two real websites you'll need to do it, obviously, is having D&D Beyond open, and then get dnd5e.wikidot.com open, because you'll have access to
Oh,
all of the stuff. Within within the D&D resources channel, you'll find a link that'll take you to Wikidot, so you don't have to memorize the link or anything like that. But on D&D Beyond, if you hover over collections, you'll see the homebrew. You'll just want to click on one of the homebrew options. We'll start with doing a homebrew race. Uh, Race, subrace, variant. We're going to do race because they're the same system as subrace and variant, but if you need to make like a subrace of ASMR, like the Fallen ASMR is what you want to go for, then you'll need to click on create subrace. And I don't think under any circumstances will you need to create a variant race. You can either use a template if there's a certain race that does a certain thing that the another race should do. Then you can pull them up as a template, and it'll just within D&D Beyond, it will show you if it loads. It'll pretty much show you exactly how they did it. You can scroll down and see all the racial traits. See press edit on them to see how the racial traits are done within D&D Beyond. Dark vision adds set base dark vision 60, things like that. What we will be doing is, what I will be doing for this is just going straight up on create from scratch, so you can see it completely built from the ground up. So anyone at all, give me a race.
people.
Give me a race that isn't a base race.
Oh,
A pureblood. Pureblood. Uh, UNT. You got it. So the races are down here. You just will want to find wherever it is. UNT. In Wikidot, they're just called UNT. They're not necessarily pureblood, but either way, we'll be going through it. In Wikidot, you'll see the two options. You'll see a lot of times two options of Monsters of the Multiverse, and then another one.
yuck.
Because we refuse to use Monsters of the Multiverse, just go with the other one. I think with Dragonborn in particular, you will see over here. You'll see multiple sources that are approved: Player's Handbook and Fizzbonds. In that case, you could just choose whichever one you like if you see multiple sources approved. So for the creating a race, you just start by typing in, of course. God damn it. Typing in their name, that's the name that's going to be displayed. You can ignore version. Version is just for if you are publishing your works, you have multiple versions that you want to keep updated, so people can go back to old versions of your homebrew, but you won't be doing that if you're just stealing. In
Sick.
nearly all scenarios, size is going to be medium. Uh, if you're making like a goblin or something like that, then the size will be small, but you'll be able to find that size. Purebloods match humans in average size and weight. Your size is medium. It'll tell you right here what to select for the race. Walking speed, you'll be able to find that here as well. Speed, base walking speed is 30, so you just punch that in. Almost no races have a burrowing, climbing, flying, or swimming speed, but if the race you're making does have one of those speeds, then you'll just put it in here, and you'll also find it where it says speed. If they don't have a speed, just leave it blank. Short description and long description don't really matter much. You can just copy the description here and paste it in. You can do a race group if you would like, but truth be told, I've never found an actual use for putting in race group.
Oh,
And racial trait introduction, a lot of times that'll show up in like actual rule books, but it won't show up here in the in Wikidot. So you could just type in UNT pure blood traits. If the race you're making will have subraces, Sub races, check the box. Despite there being a red star here for large avatar, you don't have to upload any images. It just lies that that's required. Then you press create race, and it'll have all of your, now all the very basic stuff is done. You can start adding the racial traits. So we see that their first trait, ability score increase. Snippets, what snippet means is that there is, within the character sheet, it will have a small little block of text that's just a very quick description. But a lot of times you'll have hide and builder, hide and sheet. We're going to check both of those, or we're going to check hide and sheet actually, not hide and builder. Now that hide and sheet is selected, we no longer need a snippet, despite the red star, because the snippet only shows up in the character sheet. If it's hidden in the sheet, then it won't show up. Description, we just copy this right over. Charisma increases by 2, intelligence increases by 1. This will be we're going to put display order 1 so that this is the first thing that shows up in the builder and on the character sheet. We don't need it called out at all. Feature type is usually always granted. Granted just means the character will automatically have this feature. Additional means it will modify a previously granted feature, and replacement means it will replace a previously granted feature. There are no options known for this, so we can just leave this blank, and there's no required character level, so we just leave this blank. Then, after you press save, you'll be able to scroll down back to the bottom again and have all this long list of stuff. For the increasing of a charisma score by 2 and an intelligence score by 1, those will be under modifiers, so we press add a modifier. Modifier type will be bonus. Bonus to charisma score. Fixed value is 2. We leave the rest blank because there's no ability score that modifies it. There will be no dice associated with this. There are no additional bonuses. No other details we have to add, no duration, nothing like that. So just bonus, charisma score 2. Then you press add another modifier. Do the same thing with a bonus to intelligence score 1. What? Sometimes it'll be weird. We'll just delete that. So yeah, now we have the bonus increases your charisma score by 2 and increases your intelligence score by 2. And that one's done. So you can just press cancel to back it out because everything is saved. So even though we pressed cancel, it stays here. That's our first racial trait. We'll add another now. For we don't need to add age, we don't need to add alignment, size, speed, dark vision. So the snippets are usually just very quick things that describe what the feature does. You can see in the dark out to 60 feet. Not NFT. Then you can just, once again, copy over the full description. Display order will be 2. We're going to have both of these be visible in the builder and the sheet. Going to leave all those. Granted feature. Save. Then we'll add a modifier. It's a sense. Dark vision. Fixed value is 60. Save. Next up, innate spellcasting. So I'll work on the snippet after I have everything else made, but we'll just copy this over. You know the poison spray cantrip, you can cast animal friendship, and at 3rd level you can cast suggestion. Alright, so we'll put that at display order 3, we'll leave that visible. Feature type is granted. Yeah, so even though the required character level starting at 3rd level, you can also cast suggestion. we're going to still leave this blank because the other stuff is granted at first level. So then just for the snippets, you know poison spray, animal friendship, and suggestion at third level. So one feature in homebrewing, if you click on the trait while you're in your character sheet and you want to know quickly what poison spray does, what animal friendship does, what suggestion does, if you type in spell in between brackets and then after do /spell, when it's in your character sheet now, this will automatically be linked to poison spray.
Wowza.
And then suggestion. All right, so we save it. Then we're going to add spells to this. Spell is poison spray. All of it is just default, so we'll leave spell levels and it'll automatically default to cantrip. Class will automatically default to, well, nothing actually, but so yeah, we'll again just leave attack type blank. If we change it, then it'll change the spell, but because poison spray is normally ranged, it'll automatically set to range. We have no reason to add a level divisor here, which just means it just restricts. You can't cast spells at higher levels, as all level divisor does. It's unlimited uses, so we'll leave all this stuff as is. We don't need to modify anything, I think, for this. Just reading through it real quick to be sure. Yep, good to go.
Yippee!
So then the next one is you can cast Animal Friendship an unlimited number of times with this trait. We can only target snakes with it. So we'll add another spell. Animal Friendship. We can leave all of this stuff blank. Has infinite uses, so we don't need to set a number of uses. Doesn't have a reset type or a casting level. The restriction we'll type here, only on snakes. And oh, hold on real quick. So, oh yeah, consume spell slot, no. So because it says no to consuming a spell slot, that means they can cast it an infinite number of times, even though this is a first level spell. Finally, third level, you can cast Suggestion. Once you cast it, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Oh, real quick. Animal Friendship does have a saving throw, so we will need to uses ability modifier Charisma. That means it will use your Charisma score to calculate the saving throw of Animal Friendship, and yeah, Charisma is your spell casting ability for these spells, as it says here. So now to Suggestion. Again, leave all that stuff blank. We don't need to select any of the stuff. Has one use. What we would normally do... Oh, shoot. I did it wrong in the last one. So...
Youch!
This is where you put the Charisma, or whatever spellcasting stat it would be based on, over on this side. What this one means is, for this, if I put Strength, you would have one use plus your Strength modifier. Or it would be times for some features as well. But we're leaving that blank, so it doesn't add. You're only allowed one use. Everything else is same. Reset type, it says once per long rest, so we just press the reset type is long rest. And no restriction, does not consume a spell slot, save. And I will go back and edit animal friendship really quick. Leave that blank, and we will be using charisma here. And there we go. Oh, not there we go. Suggestions at 3rd level. So, let's see. Huh. I could have sworn that you did it in here. Just a second.
Hold.
I guess not. So everything I said about suggestion before was a lie. I'm deleting it. We have to do this a slightly different way. So with just poison spray and animal friendship right now, this is done. And because we're deleting it from here, I will also be deleting that part from the snippet. And animal friendship. So now I will be going back in with another innate spell casting. I'm going to hide it in both the builder and in the sheet. Display order will be 4. Hide it on the details page as well. This is an additional feature. Required level for this is 3. Oh, I do still need to put in the description nonetheless. What is happening? Why did it all go away? Why did that just not work at all? Worked that time. And then we'll go in and add the suggestion here. Ability score is charisma, 1 use. Reset type, long rest. Everything else is good to go. Save. All right. Then magic resistance. You have it. The description for magic resistance is short enough where we can just
Auga.
use it there and there. Display order will be 5. Don't need to hide it. Feature type is granted. No options known. So since it gives you, magic resistance gives you advantage, that's a modifier you can select. On saving throws in general, against spells and other magical effects. And that one, simple as, is done.
I feel good.
Last couple is going to be the poison immunity and the languages. Poison immunity. You are immune to poison damage. Put in here. thing. Display is 6. No need to hide it. Granted. Save. In the modifiers, it is then an immunity under modifiers. We just put in poison. Save, and that one is done. And then we'll add another immunity to the poisoned condition. Immunity to poisoned. And that one's the condition. And poison immunity is now done. Languages. Copy that over. We're going to hide it in the sheet just because languages aren't important. They'll already be displayed in your languages section. Feature type is granted. And we can scroll down. Let's see. Is it in modifiers? I thought it was languages was its own category. Nope, it's in modifiers, like everything else. So it was abyssal, draconic, and common, I believe. Yes. And since that was the last one, the UONT is now complete. You'll now be able to, when you're creating a character, you'll be able to add a UONT as your race, as long as you have your homebrew turned on. So make sure whenever you're doing any homebrew stuff for a character, you have homebrew turned on in your character sheet. All right. Fight it. I hadn't checked the Discord chat logs until just now. I see I was being boring, but anyways, any questions about that one so far?
Thank you, teacher. I am not Zoomer minded, so that made sense to me. But maybe one of the +2 int folks.
I'm not gonna open a new tab. Okay, I'll move on to subclasses now then. So same thing, create a subclass. If there's another subclass that does a similar feature or you just want to see how to do it, I saw light domain cleric, so we'll do that. But if there's another subclass that has a similar feature and you just want to see how to do it, you can make a, subclass from a template and just press create, and it'll tell you exactly how each of the trickery domain features are done, or, twilight domain, war domain, whatever. But we're going to create a cleric subclass from scratch, and going back to the home page, classes, cleric light domain. All right. Same thing, light domain. We don't need to worry about the version. You can just put the same exact thing for both short and long descriptions. Spellcasting ability, you can leave blank unless the subclass specifically specifies a different spellcasting ability, or for example, if you're making an Eldritch Knight, you'll need to put in, since fighters normally don't have spellcasting, but Eldritch Knights do get it, you'll need to put in intelligence there. Clerics can cast spells on a whole, so we can leave this blank because that's the default. But if you're doing Eldritch Knight where fighters aren't normally able to cast spells, you'll need to press yes. In here is where you'll put an additional spell list. So, for example, I think fighters, Eldritch Knights just get the entire wizard spell list, but I could be wrong about that, but it'll say on the Eldritch Knight page. Again, all this stuff, it will say on the, this page here if you need to put anything in there. additional specific spells we do have. So right here, light domain spells, they get all of these spells. That means they always have them prepared. So that means we're going to put them here in the additional specific spells. So Burning Hands, Fairy Fire, Flaming Sphere and Scorching Ray. Then we have Daylight and Fireball. Guardian of Faith, Wall of Fire. And finally, Flame Strike and Scrying. With those done, press Create Subclass so we can add all of the features and the modifiers now. So, press Add Class Feature. We'll be starting with the bonus cantrip. Yeah, we'll put a snippet from this for this one. Again, the point of the snippet is just to give you quick information without reading through the whole description. A lot of times the description isn't very long, but for certain features like, we'll even just say Warding Flare, this one is long and it kind of has unimportant text. For example, also at first level you can interpose Divine Light between yourself and an attacking enemy. That tells you nothing. That's just, flavor, it's fluff. So you just use the snippet to tell you the important information you need to know about the feature. Description. And I will be putting spell and spell. Required class level is going to be 1 since, when you choose this domain at first level. Display order we'll leave at 1. It has no options. There are no options in the class, so there's no levels where different options are known. We don't need to hide it in the builder or the sheet. We'll choose granted once again, create class feature. And you'll see that, the overall process between, subclasses, spells, backgrounds, whatever, it's all pretty much the same. So down here, we just need to add a spell. We get the light spell. All of this stuff, we're just going to leave blank because there's nothing special, just the light spell as default. Next up, we'll add Warding Flare. So, you can interpose Divine Light between yourself and an enemy. When you're attacked by a creature within 30 feet of you that you can see, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, causing light to flare before the attacker, before it hits, wow. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. An attacker can't be blinded that's immune to this feature. I'm going to stop trying to talk. Alright, so as a snippet, we can just put when you are attacked by a creature within 30 feet, you can use your reaction to give them disadvantage. Yeah, that's all the important information about it. Required class level, first once again. Display order will put it 2. There's no options or no need to hide it. Feature type is granted. Create class feature. So since this one gives you an action, as it says you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage, it's one of the more complicated ones. So right now I'm just going to copy this snippet so I don't have to rewrite it. But you press add action. Action type, it's a general action because there's no weapon or spell associated with it. Name is Warding Flare. No ability score associated with it. No level. No need for proficiency. Attack range. Range, no, because it's not an attack. There's no saving throw. No die count associated to it. No damage associated to it. No need to display it as an attack. Range is, what was it? 30 or 60? 30. Range is 30 feet. No area of effect. Activation type is reaction. Reset type, so it says you can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So the reset type is just a long rest. We put the snippet in. We copy this once again and just paste it in the description. When we press save, we're going to scroll back down to the bottom, go to limited use, add limited use data. This is where we'll be adding, you can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. So all we do is 0 plus wisdom. And there we go. Press save, and now the action should be completed. On your reactions page, or on your actions page in the reactions section, because that's what we set it to, you will see this whole feature now. So we just press cancel to back out of it. Warding flare is complete, so we just press cancel to back out once again. And there we go. Next feature, Channel Divinity. Radiance of the Dawn. I'm just going to copy that instead of typing it all out. So reading what it does, starting at second level, you can use your Channel Divinity to harness sunlight, banishing darkness, and dealing radiant damage to your foes. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and any magical darkness within 30 feet of you is dispelled. Additionally, each hostile creature within 30 feet of you must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes radiant damage equal to 2d10 plus your cleric level on a failed saving throw, and half as much on a successful one. That creature that has total cover from you is not affected. So with this one, in particular, since it brings up a Constitution saving throw, we are going to learn snippet code. So what this says is, as an action, you can dispel magical darkness within 30 feet of you, and all creatures within range must make a DC. So, snippet code D&D Beyond. I never remember it, but if you just look up snippet code D&D Beyond, first link using snippet codes in your homebrews, click on that, and it will give you right here a list of all the various snippet codes. So the one we're looking for is save DC. So we're just going to copy that format right into here. Save DC, and because it's a cleric feature, a cleric's spell casting ability is their wisdom, so we're just going to use wisdom. And then when that's closed, so back to reading it, as an action you can dispel magical darkness within 30 feet of you, and all creatures within range must make a DC, whatever, Constitution saving throw. On a fail, the creatures take 2d10 how do you spell radiant? It's down there somewhere. Radiant. I was almost there. Or half as much on a success. And there we go. So what this snippet code does is it will automatically, the formula for the save DC, I believe, is 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus. This right here does that math for you and displays the total in your character sheet. So required class level for this is second level. We'll display at third level, order of 3. It does not have any options, so we'll leave all that stuff. Feature type is granted. Create class feature. You know, I haven't seen any pop-ups, but I know you are all popping off about me opening a new tab. All right. So it was Channel Divinity. So luckily, Channel Divinity is a class feature clerics get. This just modifies, it gives an additional use to Channel Divinity. So in actuality, oh, we do still have to do something. We still have to add the action. I'm actually going to go back real quick and just copy the snippet so I don't have to write it all again because I'm lazy. Actions. General action. Channel Divinity. Radiance of the Dawn. Don't need any of this stuff because, or actually, let's see. Save type is Constitution. Ability score type is Wisdom because we're using our Wisdom to calculate the Constitution save. Die count is 2d10, I believe. 2, yep. Plus your cleric level. Wish I'd seen that before, but it's fine. Not a fixed value. Damage is radiant. We'll display it as an attack. Yep. Area of effect type is sphere, around 30 feet because it's a 30-foot radius. Activation type is an action. We won't bother with the reset type because Channel Divinity already handles all that. Paste that in. Because I didn't read it was plus your cleric level, we're going to add another snippet code in. So in here, on a fail, the creatures take 2d10 plus, and we'll do snippet for class level. So it's just putting in class level as is. Close the snippets. And then we'll copy the description. Press save. Just want to check real quick. Yep. And there we go. The action is now created. So we'll back out of it, add a new class feature, improved flare. We'll just, let's see, starting at 6th level, you can also use your warding flare feature when a creature that you see within 30 feet of you attacks a creature other than you. Because that's just an additional feature pretty much, we won't bother putting a snippet there. Required class level is 6th. Display order is 4th, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Doesn't have any options. Additional feature, create class feature. Because all it does is slightly modify what warding flare does, we don't need to bother with anything down here. We're just done. We can back out and go to the next feature. Next one is potent spellcasting. Ooh, I'm actually not certain how they do this one. Potent spellcasting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new create a subclass. I know that there's other cleric, I believe Arcana is one of them, other cleric subclasses that have the same exact feature of potent spellcasting. So I'm going to go here. Yep, they have it. Because this one, again, there's another class that already has it, I'm just going to straight copy this one over. This one is display order 5. There's no options to it. Yep, and it's a granted feature. So yeah, the modifier then is add a modifier. Thank you. Do bonus. And it says what? cleric cantrip damage. Cleric cantrip damage. And then primary stat, ability score, we'll just put in the wisdom because the feature adds your wisdom modifier to the damage with any cleric cantrip. There's no fixed value or any of the additional bonuses or anything like that, so we just save, and that one is done now. I can close out of there. Final feature, Corona of Light. How do you spell Corona? Copy this over real quick. Starting at 17th level, you can use your action to activate an aura of sunlight that lasts for 1 minute, or until you dismiss it using another action. You emit bright light in a 60-foot radius and dim light 30 feet beyond that. Your enemies in the bright light have disadvantage on saving throws against any spell that deals fire or radiant damage. Alright. You can use your action to create an aura of sunlight emitting bright light in a 60-foot radius and dim light 30 feet beyond that. Actually, I'm going to abbreviate foot over here 2 feet. Enemies within the radius have disadvantage, radius of the bright light, on saving throws against fire or radiant spells. Card class level is 17th. Display order is 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No options known for this one. Feature type is granted. This effect is a much easier one to create. For the action, general Corona of Light. No ability score or anything like that we have to put on. In fact, we don't have to put any of this. We just have to put it down here. And put the description in here. Wow, really? This doesn't... I would think that this would have a reset, like you can only use it a certain amount of times per day. This ability, or this feature is kind of OP, to be honest. But like in a good way. But because there is no like damage or any dice rolled for using this ability, then we don't have to put anything in like, ability score, level, attack range, etc., etc. There's no level overrides either, so we're done, and that's the light domain created. Yep, entirety of the light domain created. So, any questions? And yeah, by the way, if you are in one of the campaigns that I am doing on D&D Beyond, so if you're in AD&DU 1, 2, or 3 on D&D Beyond, then you'll have access to these, to the light domain and the Yuan T Pure Blood, because I just made them. So you'll have access to my homebrews.
Yeah, that's how I got access to all the content, is someone just gave me a campaign that had every piece of content in it to make my character in. You can, does any piece of homebrew someone makes get shared between the whole campaign, or just the DM?
I think... I'm not certain enough to say for sure. Is 3 full? Last I checked, I thought 3 still had some slots open.
Oh, it's full.
Really? I thought...
I think you'll find it has 7 players in it.
Yeah, that's only 12 is the max. So it's
what?
not full.
Why is 12 the max?
Good question. So the weird thing is you can have 12 unique players, but you can have 99 characters. The 12 players can add a total of 99 characters to a single campaign. Well, that's only in these 3 campaigns, 1, 2, and 3. Those are just the ones I'm doing. AZ and Stego both also have their own campaigns with more characters in them.
Yeah. So, Nachi, the answer was that you're dumb, actually.
All right, are there any other questions? I feel like I went pretty
Um,
fast, but
Sorry, I joined a bit late, but I was wondering, hypothetically, so I'm a player character.
yep.
I'm already in campaign 2, but I was thinking, oh, you should obviously create a backup character just in case. And a cool idea I was thinking of would it be possible to maybe make like a really nerfed mind flare? But the idea behind it is, he of course leaves the whole colony and wants to become a pirate because I thought, oh, it would be really cool if we did like Davy Jones in D&D. So would it be possible to create like a character like that or another? If it doesn't, like, the idea is it doesn't have to be like a mind flare. It's just it has to be
So,
some squid-like person.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the idea is I want to make a fighter squid-like person who's like starts off really weak as this, like, of course, the assistant to the assistant to the assistant captain, but then over time grow to become a really cool pirate lord.
So what I would say to that, homebrew races, like fully homebrew invented ones, are not allowed. You cannot create a race and then just play it. But a way to get around that, I have two different recommendations for that character to get around it. The first one is, let's see, we'll go to
CL?
races. The first one I would say is you could definitely just reflavor a Triton. That's
Yeah,
Monsters
that's
of the
what I was thinking.
Multiverse. Here,
Really?
Triton. Not that one, the other one. This one.
Ah, okay.
Triton, or they're just a fish people. You could definitely just kind of flavor it, adjust how he looks, and say his description is, he's got tentacle face, he's squid, he's Davy Jones. But if you don't like Triton, then there is also, does it show up here? Custom no. There's also a racial option you could choose through Tasha's called Custom Lineage, where basically, if I remember correctly, you just get to choose. I don't remember how it is, but it's basically just a homebrew, a quick way to homebrew that's legal because it's balanced well.
Okay. That's cool. Alrighty.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Could you start from the top?
Watch the VOD.
Just one more time for the fans.
All right. Well,